Angie, and we'll get things rocking and rolling. So, once again, for those of you that just hopped on, my name is Jenna Byam. My husband and I, we do this together. We live in Canton, Ohio, where the Football Hall of Fame is. So, if you guys want to check, let us know when you're in the area. And I've been a part of this idea. I saw this industry at 19. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the idea that you can help other people get what they want, and then you can get what you want. I also fell in love with the people from all over the world, different backgrounds, different walks of life, all different ages, all different races, and they come together for one, being a part of something bigger than yourself. And that's what we've been able to see, been able to do. My husband and I have used this travel club for over 100 times in the last handful of years, and we have a blast. When I saw this idea, I was serving at a restaurant, so I didn't have a huge, background that was intimidating. But now, we are able to do this free time, travel the world, enjoy life. And we have a phenomenal woman on the call today or on the Zoom today that's going to be sharing this with you. And like I said, I met her, for those of you that didn't hear, when I was 19 years old. I'm in my 30s now. I just turned 38. So that's how many years I've been following this young lady, and we love her. We know that she has all the integrity, and she's built a humongous organization. She's helped people from all over the world, all over the country. And I'm excited for you guys to meet her as well. But what I do want to tell you about Angie is, not only is she a great successful businesswoman, but in the last 10 years, 20, almost 20 years that I've known her, she's become a mentor, a role model, a mother, well, a wife, and then a mother. And we've gotten very lucky to have her at our wedding, and then travel all over the US, or all over the United States, all over the world with her. And I wouldn't pick a really, she's one of the top people that you could hear from today. So we're so excited. Angie, if you have made the call, we'd love to see your face and hear from you. Thanks for hopping on and sharing this Saturday with us, Angie.
Thank you for introducing it, Jenna. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you might be in the world. We appreciate your time today. Thank you for joining us and taking time away from your weekend to be here. If you are brand new and, just hearing about this, seeing this for the very first time, welcome. Your friend is excited about something and they wanted to share it with you. And I have the privilege to do that today. So just to give you a little background, I'm from a small town in Minnesota. And when I first saw this industry, probably the best way to describe my life was overworked and underpaid. I had been overpromised and underdelivered, and frustrated and looking for a change. And the person that referred me to this idea, talked to me about the idea of diversifying my income. I lost a business over COVID, and kind of made a decision at that time that that would be the last time I had all of my eggs in one basket. I knew I needed to diversify, and they said this was a way that I could do that. They also said it was a way to travel at wholesale versus retail, which was very interesting as well, especially living in Minnesota where it's winter about 9 months of the year. So, in fact, speaking of that, I don't know where what your weather is like, but I just moved all my plants in this morning. We have a possible freeze tonight. So thank you, Minnesota. And thank goodness for a vacation club, right? So I'm going to go through what they shared with me. If you love it, great. If you don't love it, great. We just appreciate your time today. And so we'll get started. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to share my screen and we'll get rocking and rolling. Okay. Let me move this over. Let's move this over. Okay. And we will get this thing hopping. All right. Oops. Play. All right. So Give me a thumbs up if you could in the chat if most of your screen says Viago. Let's just make sure we're all on the same page. You can see it. If you're on a cell phone, sometimes you can just swipe to the right or the left and be able to see it if you're on your computer. Hopefully most of your screen already. Okay, I'm seeing messages come in. Appreciate that. So Viago, guys, is the name of the club, and we are a lifestyle club. So the idea behind our club, we want to help people look better and feel better while they're on vacation. And so I'm going to talk about how the company allows us to be members of this club. And when we do that, we have VIP access to our own password protected back office that looks like this. Now on here, we can book everything from hotels, 1-star to 5-star and everything in between, condos, villas, luxury homes, car rentals. There are no blackout dates. There are no restrictions. We can book same day or many weeks and months in advance. We can travel as much or as little as we want to. But when we do book on here, we have access to wholesale pricing. So how do we get that? Very similar to if you go to a gas station, we all know we can get a bottle of water and it would cost us a couple bucks. We also know we could go to somewhere like Costco and get a case of bottled water for like $6. And because we bought in bulk, we were able to save money. Now, when most people travel, maybe they go to Expedia, Travelocity, maybe they go to the Hilton site and they book one room one time and pay a retail price. What this company does is they'll go to somewhere like the Hilton and they might book 15,000 rooms at one time. The Hilton will give them a huge discount for doing that, and then they'll pass those savings on to us, the members. So that's how we're able to get the deals that we do. So the first part of our site, guys, looks like this. I don't know how many of you have been to Vegas before. If you have been to Vegas before, put in the chat, give me a number one that you have been to Las Vegas and you made it out alive and you are here to tell the story. So this is at the Caesars Palace. And if you've been there, you know it's a beautiful resort. The best available rate online at the Caesars Palace at the time we looked it up was $261 a night. We would get the same resort, the same dates, the same everything at $54 a night. So we're going to save $206 a night or 79% off the best online rate. Now, if you went a long weekend, which let's be honest, that's about all you could do in Vegas and make it out alive, that'd be about $800 savings just on that one trip. This next one I'm going to show you is in Venice, Italy. This is a worldwide club, so there's properties everywhere. This is a savings of $150 per night or 54% off the best online price. This next one's in New York. This is right in Times Square. This is a savings of $410 a night or 57% off the best online rate. And I've used this part of the club, guys, probably the most. I have used it for everything from, I'm a big believer in experiences over stuff. I think if you ask any of our kids, what did they get for Christmas a couple years ago? They probably don't remember. But if you ask them about a vacation that we took them on, they remember everything about it. So I know for Christmas, we took my son to a Vikings-Packers game in Lambeau Field, saved a bunch of money on that, and I'll explain that in a bit. I went to, for his birthday, he's a big Atlanta Braves fan. So get that, we're in Minnesota, right? He likes the Braves, the Blackhawks, and the Packers. I can't explain it, but here we are. So he likes the Atlanta Braves, so we went down to Atlanta. We stayed right next to the stadium at the Clarion Hotel. It was a 4-star hotel, saved $140 a night booking it through the booking engine. I went on a girls trip last December to St. Augustine, Florida, saved $400 on a long weekend. We've done really nice trips. I know we've got people that have gone to the Four Seasons in Maui, saved 45% off. And then I've also used it for a baseball tournament. We might have some traveling sports, quote unquote, Uber drivers, as I like to call us, on the Zoom today. And, sometimes we'll end up in a small town in the middle of nowhere. In fact, we were in the outskirts of Kansas City just a couple weeks ago for my son's baseball tournament, stayed at a Holiday Inn. That was just what was available that was, in that town, and, saved about $40 a night, stayed for 3 nights, saved $120, on a Holiday Inn as well. So kind of everything in between, but that's the booking engine. Now, the next part of travel, we have a lot of you are probably familiar with properties like VRBO, Airbnb, condos, villas. This would be very, very similar to that with condos and villas, but also luxury homes as well. So this is an example of a private ocean condo right on the beach in Miami. This is a savings of $1,200 or 84% off the best online rate. I know we have a young lady named Deb who practices anesthesia out in Arizona, and she goes to Colorado every single year to Beaver Creek Lodge for a ski trip. She's going to go for a month next winter, and she actually found the exact property she normally books through Airbnb. She found on our website, you guys, for $7,000 less for the month. So pretty amazing savings there. So they have a ton of those properties. Now they have also something called VIP Escapes. All the footage that you're seeing here, guys, are actual members in our club on these vacations. And I know some of you are on this Zoom right now as we're watching you when you were on this trip. So these are all 4-star and above. The company does all the booking and all the reservations for us. So it might include things. So it might include something like your own personal assistant. It might include all inclusive. It might include different excursions while you're on vacation. So this first one that I want to show you, I actually did this trip, and I did it with about 500 of my friends. Again, I know some of you are on the line today with us, but about 500 of us went together on this trip. We went last December. And if you've never been to Playa, it's a beautiful place about 45 minutes south of Cancun, Mexico. And so what was included in the trip is when we landed at the Cancun airport, there were people there waiting for us, holding up signs with our names on it. They picked us up. We had luxury transportation from the Cancun airport, 45 minutes south to our resort. When we got there were people there waiting for us, took our luggage. We had private check-ins. We didn't have to stand in line with everyone else coming into the resort. We were at a 4-diamond property called the Fives. They threw us a welcome reception with complimentary cocktails, appetizers. There were 10 gourmet restaurants, all inclusive. So it was all you could eat, all you could drink, premium alcohol. They also included a 4-hour sunset dinner cruise that was also all inclusive. They threw us a 3-course farewell dinner on the beach in between their infinity pools and the ocean, and the entire trip, you guys. So I'm talking airport transfers, resort stay, all inclusive, excursions, and private parties. The entire trip was $499. So for me, I'm like, it's more expensive for me to stay at home in Minnesota. So why would I not rather be in Playa, especially in December? So that's an example of an escape. Here's another one in Bali. Now, with any of these trips, obviously based on availability, but we can extend them. I know if I'm going to go to Bali, I probably would go longer than 5 days. So we certainly can do that as well. This one included, meals, excursions, resort stay, taxes, fees, host. This next one is in Dubai. I know we had a bunch of friends just get back from this trip, and this included things you see here: desert safari, dinner cruise, different tours, English speaking guide, different meals, the resort stay. Again, $449, incredible rate. Now, they've done about 80 different reward escapes like this all over the world. And in fact, I think we might have a young lady that is on with us today. And if Cecily, if you did make the Zoom, if you could go ahead and unmute yourself. I know you just got back with some of your friends from one of these escapes, and I would absolutely love to have you share your testimonial. Did you make the Zoom, Cecily? You can just go ahead and unmute yourself if you are on. While we're waiting for her, guys, I do want to tell you, in addition to that, they have something called where you can create your own escape as well. In fact, we have a group of women in the club that are going to Greece in August. And, they basically, how it works, you have your own concierge, and they just, made a request like, this is what we're interested in doing. We want to do 5-star stays for the entirety, of our trip. They wanted to go for a week. They wanted it to include their flight from Santorini to Athens. They wanted a bunch of excursions included. Some of you guys have seen the excursion before of the ladies in the big, super long, beautiful flowing dresses in the streets of Greece, so they were doing that excursion. It included their English speaking guide, their airport transfers, and their entire trip, you guys, was $1,200. So that's where you can create your own escape as well. So that kind of gives you an idea of those kinds of trips. And again, Cecily, if you're able to jump on any time, I'd love to hear your testimony, because I know she just got back from Phuket, Thailand, you guys, and had an amazing trip. Okay, Moving on, we also have something that's called daily deals. Now, with the daily deals, how this works, it's a way for us to save money while we're at home or when we're on vacation as well. And these are, again, all over the world. So, how it works is you enter the city to where you're at. So, I'm outside of Minneapolis. So, whether you're in Minneapolis, whether you're in San Diego, whether you're in Cancun, Mexico, you enter in your city, it searches around you, and you get up to 50% off on things like movie theater tickets, theme park passes, comedy club shows, concerts, sporting events, dining, entertainment. So I know personally, I've saved $200 on Minnesota Vikings tickets. I've saved money on Minnesota Twins baseball tickets. I've saved money on, I know we've had people save money on Wild hockey tickets. So again, it's wherever you're at. So if you're down in Florida, maybe you're saving money on the Rays or the Heat or the Dolphins, right? Maybe you're in Wisconsin, you're saving money on the Packers or the Brewers or the Bucks, right? Like wherever you're at. I've saved $200. I'm a big Lionel Richie fan. So when Lionel Richie came into town with Earth, Wind, and Fire, I saved $200 on my concert ticket. So in addition to that, guys, there's ways that we can save money on everyday things. And in fact, we may have, if we're able to, if Jennifer Meyer made the Zoom, Jennifer, if you're able to unmute yourself, I just saw a post that she did, you guys, on some appliances that she had bought through the club that she saved money as well. So Jennifer, did you make the Zoom and are you able to share your savings on that?
I am here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on. I saw your post and I was like, sometimes I see this, you guys, I'm like, I didn't even know we could save money on that. Would you mind sharing what you posted the other day?
Sure. And same for me. I see these things and hear these things and like, that's not true. I went into Benefit Hub and looked under appliances. I run a nonprofit. And so every penny we spend, we're trying to be very, very wise with it. So we needed a new refrigerator. Looking for just, nothing fancy and thought, I'm just going to check this out. So there's a couple different brands you can check. And so I kind of did my due diligence. But then on the side, I also checked Best Buy, Home Depot. And when I compared the two and kind of broke it down, price-wise, yes, better, but even free delivery was something that was included that wasn't a thing anymore with Best Buy or Home Depot. Haulaway was different. It was better. So once you kind of just stacked everything up against each other, I went with the GE. I saved $218 over what if I had gone with Home Depot, Lowe's, or Best Buy. So very excited about that.
Wow, I love it. $200 is $200. I mean, that's
Yeah.
money for shoes, shopping, whatever, right? I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jennifer. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate that. I know we also have Vince, did you make the Zoom? Because this has been a new thing that we've had people saving a lot of money, and that is through switching their insurance through Viago as well with their Viago membership. Vince, did you make the Zoom?
I did make the Zoom.
Hey, Vince, how are you?
Good. Can you see me? Oh, I can see myself. There we go.
Okay. Okay.
Great, great. Yeah,
Can you
thanks
share your
for
testimony as well?
sure. Thanks for having me on. I've like you guys been able to take advantage of the Benefit Hub and the members deals. I saved money on movie tickets and also on travel. I was at the Playa Escape with Angie, and that was a whole lot of fun. But the big savings for me was I was facing a pretty substantial increase in my healthcare premiums. And through Club Viago, I was able to save $700 per month on my health insurance. Apples to apples.
Unbelievable.
That's not 700 a year, that's 700 a month. That's over $8,000 a year. So to me, that's worth $99 a month, if not more. So I'm so excited about it. I just can't contain myself. So
That's so awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that,
sure,
Vince. I appreciate it.
no
So
problem.
listen, guys, this is designed to save members $4,000 a year with access to over 1 million different retailers and over 80,000 different events. So in addition to that,
And
yeah.
it's Cecily. I'm on.
Oh, hey
I'm
girl.
sorry.
You know what?
Hey,
I love that you're on, and we were talking about you, and I know you just got back from one of those escapes. Would you mind sharing your story on that?
Oh, it was amazing. It was more than what I expected. I'm a traveler already. I was a traveler before I got involved with Viago. So I'm all about the excursions and all the amenities. And the hotel was 5 star. It was my birthday celebration. And I had told them that, got to the room, and they had laid the room out with happy birthday cake and fruit. And it was just awesome. And then they upgraded my room and put me on a swim out in a swim out. Unbeknownst to me. And what's crazy is I was trying to change my room afterwards because one of my friends didn't come, and I'm like, well, I don't have to share. I'm like, they're like, can you just get to the room so you can see? Just get to the room. So because we have something to show you. So anyway, they laid it out. Even the first excursion was great. Afterwards, they had cake and sang happy birthday, the workers at the excursion. So it was really a red carpet affair. So
I
yeah,
love it.
top
And
notch.
Cecily, what did you guys pay for that trip, if you wouldn't mind sharing, for
It was
Phuket?
$550 for 7 days, and it included meals for 5 of those days, breakfast and dinner, and all like 5 days worth of excursions. And I compared, because I'm just like, oh, let me see if Viago is true to what they
Yes.
say. And
Yes.
I compared it. You 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 couldn't. First, the price was double, and it didn't include food. It included, I think, breakfast, but it didn't include 2 meals a day. So it was great.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. I saw your pictures and they looked amazing. Like when you were petting that lion or tiger or something, I was like, I mean, you guys did it up. That was incredible. Thank you so much. I appreciate you jumping on, Cecily. Happy belated birthday. All right. Next up, guys, in addition to all of that, we also have something called Be Well, and this is like a telehealth. And we have access to this in all 50 states and in 35 countries all over the world. And basically, how this works is you can have access to a medical doctor, whether it's just through a private consult or whether you may have a prescription that you could have written up over the phone and picked up at a local pharmacy with no copay. So this is something that you can use when you're at home, but also can put people on ease while they're on vacation. If unfortunately something happens while you're traveling, that you could use this feature as well. Okay, so when I originally saw this, you guys, my in-laws actually have a timeshare. And I don't know if you've ever seen a timeshare or if you've ever been fortunate enough to sit through a timeshare presentation before. For us guys, it was about a $30,000 investment. It's maintenance fees every year, blackout dates. We can only go to certain resorts at certain times. There's lots of restrictions. It's a contract for our whole life. And so when I saw this and I saw that there was no contract, there were no blackout dates, we could book 1 star to 5 star and everything in between. And we had all of these dining and entertainment discounts and the telemedicine program. I was like, this is going to be a lot to be a member. But to actually be a member of the club is only $450 one time and $99 month to month after that. Now, when someone does that, the company really wants to encourage them to go on a trip because they know that if we use the club, we're going to see the value. And so immediately they give us 600 in what they call Viago points. 1 point is equivalent to $1, and we can use that to further discount the already discounted curated trips, the rewards escapes. The $99 a month is also converted into 100 Viago points each and every month. And we can use that to also further discount those already discounted curated trips, the rewards escapes. So they've kind of set it up like a travel savings account, and that every dollar that we put into the club, we can use towards that future travel. Now, in addition to that, we also get a loyalty trip. And so how this works is when you are a member of our club for 12 months in a row, as a thank you, the company is actually going to gift you a vacation. Now, there is a $99 activation fee. Some of the properties have resort fees and taxes. Some are completely free. You can see it before you book it because you get to pick where you want to go. But it's an 8-day, 7-night hotel accommodations. I know I just did a Zoom a couple days ago with a young lady named Shannon who talked about how she just used her getaway and she used it in Las Vegas. And she booked a 2-bedroom condo with a full fireplace, pools, hot tubs, spa, a game room, barbecue grills. It slept 8 people. She brought 8 of her family there with her, and they had to pay a $35 resort fee. And outside of that, it was completely free, you guys, with her getaway. It's incredible. Or you can trade that in for 1,000 Viago points, which again, we can use 1 point is equivalent to $1 to further discount those already discounted curated trips through Rewards Escapes. We get to pick the getaway or those Viago points every 12 months of membership. And that is our club. And I'm sure you can see, for those of you that are new, why the person that you introduced you to this is so excited about what we're doing. So the second part that I'm going to talk about is optional. And that's where there's a business where if you choose, you can earn further discounted travel, free travel, and you could also make a profit. So to do this as a business and become what we call a brand ambassador, it's only $49 once and $99 once a year after that. When you do that, basically you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself, in that the company takes care of all the headaches of traditional business. So they're doing billing, payroll, web design, customer service, admin, legal, concierge. They're doing all that part. We're just doing the people part, and that's what they're paying us for. And in addition to that, we have all the same tax advantages as a big business owner. So, you look at someone, in fact, we just got this couple started in Wisconsin. They own 6 businesses. They've made millions and millions of dollars. And he said his favorite part of our club is that he gets the same tax write-offs for $49 that he paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do for in his other businesses. So how it works, guys, is this. The company is going to design you a website. You get to make up your own URL. People can go on your website wherever they are in the world, and they can join Club Viago. It is set up to do that in multiple countries all over. Now, what's also great about how our business works is you never have to do what I'm doing right now if you didn't want to, meaning you can have people just jump on a Zoom like this and we could do the presentation for you. We can help answer questions. We can help people get started, but when they sign up, we'd have them sign up on your website so you would get the credit for it. Now, every time you refer someone to the club, you're going to make $100. You can do that as much or as little as you want to. There's no requirement. There's no quota. So let's just say theoretically you referred 1 person a week for 6 weeks. You would have made then an extra $600 in money from the company. Now, 6 is kind of a special number for us, and that when you've referred 6 people to the club as a thank you, the company's actually going to waive your monthly membership dues. Now, when I originally saw this, I was like, okay, cool. So you've got to refer 6 people every month. Then you get a free membership. And they said, no, it's 6 total humans ever. So literally, guys, if you referred 1 active member every month for 6 months, 7 months on, you'd have a free membership. Or what a lot of people do is they are referring people their first month and then they're never paying for their membership. We've had some people I know in the past couple months have referred 6 on the first day. In fact, I had a couple that very successful business owners, they got so excited after they signed up that within a couple hours, they put their top 6 employees on a Zoom. I did that presentation with them. All 6 of them signed up and they had their 6 within the first couple hours. Now, you don't have to be that wild about it, but just know that as soon as you have that 6, then you don't pay that $99 a month for the membership anymore. And the company still gives you 100 Viago points each and every month. Now, in addition to that, there are multiple different ways that we get paid. I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but I do want to talk about the residual. I know when my husband and I first looked at this profession, we were looking for a way to make passive residual income. We wanted to find a way where we could get paid over and over and over again for doing something one time. And for those of you right now that you're on here and maybe you're busy, like a lot of people that are brand ambassadors with our company are, what's great about this is that we're not travel agents. So we're not booking trips for people. We're not planning trips for people. Corporate does that for us through customer service, concierge. What we just do is we just show people the club. We show people the idea, and then they have their own websites to book their own trips, handle their own travel, but we can get paid over and over and over again. So let's say theoretically you were a member of our club and you were a brand ambassador, and let's say you were showing a brand new person right now on this Zoom and they joined today. Let's fast forward 6 months from now. You will have gotten paid 6 times for that 30 minutes worth of work. As every single month they pay their club membership, you get paid over and over and over again. So let's say, for example, let's say you referred Jenna to the club and she referred 10 people. And then let's say you referred me and I referred 10. That would be a total of 20 in the community. So in this example, you would residually make an extra $200 every single month based on the overrides of the monthly membership dues. And that's just on the residual. And as you can imagine with travel, it grows organically. Meaning, how many of us have already experienced this before? We went on a vacation, we came back from it, and our friends and our family and our coworkers said, "How was your trip? Where did you go? What did you do? What did you spend?" And when you can tell people, I got, I went, like Cecily talked about, I got half off, or like when I went to Mexico for $4.99, I promise you, people wanted to know how we did that, and we just simply refer them to the club. Now, when there's a total of 100 members in the base, you make an extra $50 on every team sign up, and that's within the whole organization. Now, I know originally when I looked at this, I was like, $50 didn't seem like a huge bonus. But the reality is I've got a girl in my team making $1,000 a week just on that one $50 bonus alone. And as this continue to grow, it goes all the way up to $85,000 a month on the residual. Now, as the company continues to grow, we can look for these numbers to continue to increase as well. But one of the reasons why your friend was so excited about you getting on here is that we are ground floor. I'm saying that you might be in a state right now where you're the only person in that entire state that's heard of Viago. You might be in a country where you're one of the very first people in that entire country to ever hear of Viago. Why is that? Because we just launched this company, you guys, the last weekend of October. We are brand new, but at the same time, we're not a startup, and that the people that are running our company, the people that are in corporate, the people that are running our business, they've already built billion-dollar companies within the travel industry, and they're going to do it again with Viago. But now this time, we're in the beginning. We're first. So I know we've got some people that have been going up these ranks on this residual, and I'd love to have one of them. Cheryl, if you happen to be on the Zoom right now, Cheryl, who has been with the company, since it started the last weekend in October and has just continued to move up the ranks. I would love to have her share her testimonial. Cheryl, did you make the Zoom?
I did. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Would you mind sharing your story?
Absolutely. Like she said, I also had to bring my plants in. I'm not too far from Angie. I live in Rice, Minnesota. I'm a CFO. I've been in that industry for 35 plus years. When I started this business, I too was a little scared, like I couldn't do it. And since then, I have done it. Just in the last 2 months, I made over 15,000. And I'm not telling you because I'm bragging. I'm just telling you because I was once a lot of you saying, I can't do this. I don't have time. I work 70 plus hours a week. Plus, I have my significant other's business, plus his health. And we have children and grandchildren. So being busy is an understatement, and not having time. I just don't let that be an excuse. And I just do what I need to do. And, you heard of the get rich quick. Well, you can do that. You have to work for it though. It just doesn't get handed to you, but it is possible. And I can, if I can do this, anybody can do this, honestly. Thanks for
No.
letting me share.
Cheryl, it's so amazing. To work 70 hours a week at your job and your husband's business and all the other things that you're dealing with, and to still, on a very part-time basis, to go out and make $15,000 in the last 2 months is incredible. Congratulations on all your success, Cheryl.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much for jumping on.
Thank you.
Now there is obviously timing, guys, in any business, but it's especially important with how our business works. And when you're new and you're learning, there is training. We have online training through something called the Inner Circle. We also have in-person events that we do. Our next event is coming up in this coming September, and it's where you can come out and meet the top income earners in our company. You can come out and meet and hear and learn from people like a Troy Brown, like a Jeff Wolf, like a Jesse McPherson. like a Muzaffar Nashvi. I mean, some of the top people in our company that you can learn and hear from directly on how to build this business. You can meet our CEO, you can meet our president, see the bigger picture. But in timing with our business, it's especially important with how our business model works. So where it says your friend, that's the person that introduced you on the Zoom today and invited you out. And where it says you, that's you, right? We're keeping it simple this afternoon. So let's say you're like, I love it, I want to do it, and you get started. You get the next best spot available in their business. Now, let's say theoretically, for whatever reason, you didn't get started right away. You were thinking about it, but know that your friend, obviously, they know more people than just you. So let's say later on this afternoon, your friend shows someone named Andy, and Andy's like, I love it, I want to do it, and Andy gets started. And then let's say tomorrow morning, you call your friend back and you're like, I'm in too. Well, now you would go in Andy's team versus Andy going in your team, meaning it just goes in order of enrollment. And maybe in this example, maybe it doesn't even matter. Maybe Andy doesn't even do any business. Or maybe Andy goes out and does a lot. Maybe Andy is the next Cheryl and they go out and put a bunch of people in. Well, if that was the case, you would have wanted to be in before Andy so you could potentially benefit financially on all of that business that would ever come through Andy. Now, when I first saw this, you guys, I didn't understand all the details of the compensation plan, but I got this slide. And I knew this thing was hot. I'm like, a lot of people are going to love this and a lot of people are going to get started. B, I knew that the person that referred me had a huge network, a lot of credibility, and they were going to put a lot of people in. And I was like, if I just have an opportunity to be first and, have a chance at making overrides on some of that business that would get started after me, I already traveled. That already made sense to me. So I was like, why wouldn't I do the business model too, right? To be able to make those overrides and benefit off that business. And understand, guys, there is a strategy to building this. And if you're seeing this for the first time, the person that invited you, they invited you for a couple different reasons. And if I'm working with someone, what I typically tell them is show the people closest to you that you love in your life, show them first, because then they get the best spots on your team. So for example, one of the young ladies that we work with, her name is Deb. She just also hit that 50-50 mark like Cheryl had. One of the very first people that Deb signed up was her son. So a lot of the business now that she's put in is in her son's business, so he can financially benefit as well. The second type of person I'm going to talk to you about that we want to show this to are the most successful people that you know in your life. We want to show the people that maybe own businesses, people that have brokerage firms that have a lot of realtors that might work underneath them, people that own businesses and have a lot of customers or clients or employees that they work with. Why? Because successful people understand our business model. Successful people get the timing and that the importance of being in early and being in the beginning. Those people also typically have a lot of credibility. And so when they build this, they can drive it fast. Like someone like that Bill and Katie Renz that I mentioned out of Wisconsin, who have made millions of dollars, own 6 businesses. When they signed up, they put 6 people in their first 2 hours. So that can help drive that business and get it going quickly right away. There is another part of the timing on this, as far as when you get started and you hold your spot, you can actually have a potential of getting back paid on some business that could happen after you. And that's why getting started quickly is so important. And I think we have a young lady, I hope she's able to jump on. I know she is, she had a lunch engagement. She was going to just pop on real quick. And if you would share your story, Jessica, I think you have such a great example of the timing and why it was so important for you. Jessica Apple, did you make the Zoom?
I did. Can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear.
Oh, good. Okay, it's a little windy out here, so I apologize. But yeah, my name is Jessica Apple. I live in Appleton, Wisconsin. I know that's a little bit weird, but it just happened that way. So my background is anesthesia, and I've also been in the direct selling space for the last 11 years, and I love it. I love the opportunity it gives. But this opportunity here is so amazing compared to every other thing that I have seen. The excitement of it, it's like I didn't think I would have another business that I got so excited about. And this is just beyond. So what happened for me was I was doing some other things back when my friend Deb John joined, and she kept calling me, and I said, I'm just really busy right now. I can't take on one more thing. And finally, the middle of December, she called me and she said, give me your credit card. And I know that's not normal, but her and I are best friends. And so I was like, okay, that wasn't weird. And so she said to me, I don't want you to miss out on this. And I am telling you guys, I am so thankful that she did that. If you have that friend that is just being stubborn, please call them and say, please just trust me on this. So anyways, I joined the middle of December. I was going to be going to Australia in February for a couple of weeks, so I was really busy. So the time went by. I really didn't have a chance to look at much. Came back from Australia in the middle of March. I started looking at things and I said to her, how in the world do I already have 32 people on my team? And she's like, I've been trying to tell you, like, this is the magic of this. And it was so different than any other like compensation or team plan that I had been in before. So the light bulb went off for me and I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing this. So I started building my other leg, which is when I called Bill and Katie Renz. And things just kind of started, like the magic started happening. And I ended up, because I already had that whole side, pretty advanced. Once I started adding to my other side, I started getting all kinds of back pay, you guys. And I think within like from the middle of March to the end, I probably made a couple $1,000s. And then the team has just continued to grow. I hit gold, which is 2525, probably within a month by the end of April. And going to Atlanta and being able to celebrate that and walk the stage and stuff, it was just incredible. So I have huge goals for Columbus, Ohio. So I am working on that and loving it. But that is the magic of this business and the timing. And when they say you can get your spot here, that's exactly what they mean. So do it. You got to do it.
Jess, I just feel like I should end the Zoom right now with that. That was so good. Thank you so much for jumping on. Congratulations on all your success. I know you're going to go all the way to the top and I can't wait to watch you do it. It's going to be amazing. Thanks for
Thank
getting
you.
on, girl. Really
Yeah, for
appreciate
sure.
it. Okay, so like Jessica said, guys, that's the timing. You never know who could get started after you and that you could benefit financially from that business forever. So to wrap up, to go what we would call all in, the club again, like I mentioned earlier, is $450 one time. The ambassador fee is $49. So the total upfront would be $499. One time, and then $99 month to month after that. Again, immediately you get those 600 Viago points, which is equivalent to $600 to further offset the already discounted curated trips, the rewards escapes. The $99 a month is converted into 100 Viago points each and every month. With our help at any time when you refer your 6 people, we'll waive the $99 a month, but you still get those 100 Viago points each and every month. And whether you're paying for your club membership or not, so even if you've referred your 6 and they've waived your dues, you still will receive one of those getaways or the 1,000 Viago points every 12 months of membership with the company. So with that, guys, if you are just seeing this for the very first time, welcome to the club. Let the person know that invited you on this afternoon or evening or morning, whatever time it might be. Let them know, did you like the travel? Did you like the money? Or did you like both? What part did you like the most? And then I encourage you, this business is going so quickly right now, is grab your spot as quickly as possible. Your friend might have multiple people on the Zoom right now. Cheryl, for example, who you just heard the testimonial from, she probably has 7 new people watching this Zoom right now. If you're the very first person to text Cheryl and say, I want the next best spot available on your team, you could literally have people in your sales team within your first 15 minutes of joining this business. That's how quickly this thing is going. So they say, guys, you get 3 opportunities in your lifetime. I don't know if this is your first, your second, or your third, but I promise you it is one of them. I've waited 25 years of my life in this profession to be with a company like we're in right now. We are in pre-momentum where virtually no one has heard about Viago, but we have people joining on an hourly, daily. We have people joining on a consistent basis over and over and over again. We will be $1 billion company. We will be the #1 travel club in the world, and we're seeing it today. So I honestly believe, things happen for a reason. There's a reason why your friend invited you on. So thank them. Thank them for introducing you to this opportunity and lock in your spot. So that's the presentation. Now I'm going to switch gears a little bit. And if you are new and you're, just getting started, your friend can send you their website link. It takes you 5 minutes to sign up. Enter in your information, your name, your address, your email. The only part you might not know is it will say, what is your web alias? That's going to be your website. So a lot of people just do their first and their last name with no spaces, because that's how your friends will know you when you send your website link to them to sign up. So go ahead and get yourself signed up right now. And then I am going to switch gears and we're going to do a little bit of training today. We're going to talk about the next steps on how to have success with this business, because you're going to get your website. And for some of you, maybe you're new, you just signed up in the last couple days, the last couple weeks. We want to show you how to be able to navigate your site so you can start saving money literally today through the club membership. We also are going to talk a little bit about some business building strategies, how we can help you get what you want out of this business. So while you're signing up, if you're new, while you go ahead and do that, give me just a minute. I'm going to get out of this. I want to share my screen. And I am going to move into what your website is going to look like. So I'm just going to give me 1 second to open this up. We'll move this down here. And for those of you that are just joining us right now, welcome to the team. We're so excited to have you. Okay, so when you get started, guys, you have 2 websites, okay? So the first website that you have is going to be your business site, okay? And that is viagodirect.com. You are going to log into that. That is going to be how you manage your business. Most importantly, when you're new, what you need to know right now is just how to sign people up, okay? And that's how you're going to sign people up, is on viagodirect.com. So that's what that website's going to be for. The other website you have is on all of your savings. And that website is going to be clubviago.com. And again, for those of you that are signing up right now, you will have access to this usually within a couple hours. It will be available, and then you'll be able to see exactly what I'm showing you right now. So you're going to sign in. And again, on both of these websites, the sign in for both is going to be the same. So whether you are on the Club Viago or Viago Direct, you're going to use the same login. So your username, your email address, and then whatever password you picked when you signed up, that's going to be your password. And when you log into your club site, this is what you're going to see. So I'm going to go full screen again, just so you guys can see this. Okay. So when you're on the Club Viago website, it's going to say, welcome to Club Viago. Now there's going to be some different panels that you're going to see down here. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this first one. And this is the online booking engine. And like I mentioned in the presentation, guys, this is the one that I use the most. This is the one where you can do everything from your booking hotels, resorts, all-inclusives. This is where you can book car rentals. This is where you can book your flights. This is where there is a different excursions that you might be doing while you're on vacation, different activities. All of that can be found on this area of the website. So the first part we're going to do is the hotels. Now, you can search wherever you want to go, right? So I'm just going to do some random searches. So let's say we want to go to, how about Orlando? Whoops, I'm on caps lock. Orlando, Florida. Okay. And again, you can search within the US, you can search internationally, whatever you want to do. So Orlando, Florida. Now, when you do your check-in dates, you're going to pick your date. And I want to do kind of something short notice, because I want you guys to see, if you just went in the next week or two, maybe there would be less availability, right? So I want to just show you kind of like the inventory, and let's do it over a weekend, because then maybe it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Now, when you're booking a hotel, here's what's great. You're allowed to book up to 5 rooms at the same discounted rate. If you wanted to add additional rooms, you can do that right here. Just hit the plus next to the rooms and you can do additional rooms. So like as an example, I've done this before on my son's baseball tournaments, where I will book multiple rooms for other baseball families. And then they want to know, of course, how did I get the rate that I did? And then I just, sign them up for the club, right? So you could use that as a marketing tool as well. Yes.
Pause for just a second. Could you stop share on your screen and then just reshare again? I'm not sure it went through.
Oh, you're not seeing my screen?
Some of us are, some of us are not.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so say that again. Click stop share.
Yes, ma'am. And then just go ahead and share screen again and do exactly what you just did on the same
Some people can see, some can't. That sounds about right. That sounds about normal for technology, right? Okay, how about now?
I got it.
Okay, sweet. Perfect. There we go. That was an easy fix. Thanks, Shar. Okay, so let me see if it'll still let me search, or if I'm going to need to refresh my screen here. All right, now when we're on here, guys, you're going to see a couple things where you can see stuff as money, or you can see stuff as rewards credit. So let me explain that real quick. There's a couple different things. There's Viago points and there's rewards credits. So Viago points, like we talked about in the presentation, when you signed up, you got 600 of those immediately. And again, one Viago point is equivalent to $1. And those can be used to further discount the already discounted curated trips the rewards escapes. So for example, when I showed you guys earlier that trip I went to in Mexico last December, I was able to take 300 Viago points, or $300 off my already discounted room. I also had some friends of mine come. I gifted them 300 Viago points. They took $300 off their room as well. Okay, so those are Viago points. Now, rewards credits are different. Rewards credits are earned from booking on the booking engine, hotels, resorts, all-inclusives. You could earn them by booking condos, villas, activities, and then you can also use them to pay for those things. Now, they are a little different than Viago points, where a Viago point, 1 point's $1. Rewards credits are more like Delta Sky Miles, where you'd need a lot of rewards credits to earn free stays and free excursions, etc. How I'm anticipating it with what I'm using and adding up, I'm going to get about another free trip a year just based on the rewards credit. So all right, so let's take a dive here. What do we find? Okay, so we did Orlando on our search engine, right? So what we're looking at, I've got to move this pictures out of the way a little bit so I can see this. Okay, so if you see this first one's a Sheraton, right? And the Sheraton in Orlando, it's showing the public price at $276. So this is kind of a neat feature, guys, where it lets you compare public prices. So it's showing that that hotel is showing $276 on Expedia, showing $283 on Priceline. On our site, guys, it's showing at 150, or it's 154 savings. It's 108 a night. So you're going to save 154 bucks. Now, I just did one night, but if you went for 2 nights, now we're talking about a $300 savings. Go 3 nights, now we're talking about a $450 savings. You guys, on one weekend trip. It's incredible. And here's another neat feature. It'll show you upfront what the price is. How many of you guys have ever been to another site before where you thought the price of the hotel was one thing, but then when you got to the end and you checked out, it was very different than the original price? This is going to show you the upfront price immediately. Your total, including all taxes, all fees, when you check out, if you book the Sheraton on that date, it's going to be $121. That's the exact price that it's going to be. Now, in addition to that, look at this. You're going to earn 135 rewards credits. So you actually are going to earn more rewards credits than it costs to book this trip. It's incredible, you guys. It's so mind-blowing to me. I can't even hardly stand it. So 56% off. Now, I did a search, a very short notice, right, in a couple weeks, and look at this. 442 options. Sometimes people ask, like, listen, your company's 6 months old. You're new. You're just getting started. What kind of inventory do you have? Look at this. 442 options within a couple weeks. That's just hotels. We haven't even got into all the other things yet, right? So here's the deal, guys. You can search by map. So let's say you're going to a Miami Heat game. You're going to a Tampa Bay Lightning game, and you want to get a hotel right by that stadium. You can search by map. You can search by star rating. Maybe you want to see 4-star and above. There's a bunch of other filters that you can do. You can sort by biggest percent savings. You can sort price, low to high, high to low, etc. This is all underneath the hotel booking engine. Now, here's where you're going to go into cruises. What are the options here? Ocean cruises. What ocean cruises? Sometimes people are like, well, what cruise line do you do business with? Virtually all of them, guys. Celebrity, Royal, Carnival, Disney. There are, Princess, I've seen Norwegian. I've seen all of them on there on ocean cruises. In fact, I got to share a testimonial because just a couple weeks ago, I was in Wisconsin meeting with this business owner, and he said, you know what? I just booked a cruise. And I was like, really? Bring me your paperwork, right? He was there to see Lindsay Kate out in Wisconsin. He brought in the paperwork, and he's like, I don't know. This is a really high-end, top-end cruise I'm going on. And I was like, show me your paperwork. So he's like, it's Celebrity Cruise Lines. It's their top-of-the-line ship. He said, I'm going on, I remember the date. It was October 20th. It was an 11-day cruise in Croatia and around Italy. We looked up, I found Celebrity Cruise Lines, guys. I found the exact ship, the exact dates. I found his trip. $1,600 less on Club Viago. So he said, thank goodness I bought the insurance, right? The travel insurance through my travel agent, because he goes, I am canceling my trip. I am signing up for Club Viago, and I am rebooking my cruise through you guys because this is amazing. Okay, river cruises, sailboats, and yachts. Car rentals, right? You're going to do car rentals right here. Flights. Now, I will tell you on flights, if you know me, I'm big on, I never want to overpromise and underdeliver, right? So typically, there's not a lot of wiggle room on flights. What you find on here is about what you might find on Travelocity or maybe on like the Delta site, right? I look at it there more for convenience. However, there is a place on our site where you can do package deals where you can book flight, hotel, car rental all together. And I have heard of people saving a lot of money through flights when they do it that way. But for the most part, guys, I would just look at it as a convenience. That's not going to be the main saving as all the other things are that I'm talking about. Okay, homes. This is going to be luxury homes. They have properties for these all over the world. Weeks. I want to click on weeks because there's a couple different features in here specifically that I want to show you how to use. Okay, so when you go to weeks, again, you're earning rewards credits and you can pay for these weeks with rewards credits. But let's do some searches. Now, these are available, guys. They have them all over the United States. They have them all over Mexico, Canada, all over the Caribbean, Europe. I mean, look at all of these options. Are you kidding me? South Pacific, Australia, on and on and on. Central America. I mean, they're literally, guys, all over. But I want to show you one in particular that I just always think is such an amazing deal. If you look on here, and I'm near and dear, I love going to Playa, love going to Cancun, love going to the Caribbean. So know on this, guys, when you pick your date, you can do whatever you want. I'll do kind of short notice again, just so you can see, do whatever you want. Now, if there's a specific date that you want to go, so let's say you want to go next fall, you want to go on next December, whatever, you can book, up to a year in advance. If you want to go within 7 days of that date, just search within 7 days. If you have some flexibility and you're like, listen, I can go anytime that month, I just want to go within 35 days of that date, you can do within 35 days of that date as well, right? So you get to choose if you want to do something more specific or whatever. Okay, this is crazy town. When you see these prices, you won't even believe it. You're not even gonna believe what I'm about to show you. Okay, this first property is called The Reef. Now, I have had some friends of mine that have stayed at the resort. It's a 3.5 star. So I don't know if you're, comfortable doing a 3.5 star. They said it was a beautiful property. When I originally saw this in Playa del Carmen, I was like, oh, $114 a night. That's an amazing deal. No, that is not per night. That is the total for, drum roll, please, for 7 nights. You guys, it's $16 a night. What are we even talking about? Some of you guys are literally going to put your house up for sale right now and you're going to just move to the Reef. Like, it's going to be less expensive than any apartment or mortgage or whatever anyone can pay. It's crazy town, $16. And you're going to get, again, more rewards credits than you actually pay to go for an entire week. 171 rewards credits on that booking. Now, look at some of the other ones. Here's another boutique adults only hotel at 33, we're talking about, save $112, $33. Look at all this, on and on and on. Now, they do have, I have seen a lot of these are looking like around the 3-star, whatever range, but here's a 4.5 star. How about 4.5 stars for $36 a night? I've never even seen that one before. What are we even talking about? 4.5 stars for $36 a night? I need to book that trip. Okay. Now, again, guys, I did kind of short notice and look at the options. We're talking 1,460 weeks in 85 different resorts. Again, you can search by price range. You can filter by area. You can search by all-inclusive. This is all under the weeks. Now, Marketplace. What Marketplace is a whole nother area where you can actually bid on properties. Now, how this works is, let's say, for example, there's a particular resort and they don't have a lot of, resort, something available left, right? So let's, I'm going to go down here. Okay, let's look at this one. Let's look at the Grand, how about this Grand Seas, whatever. It's a 5-star property in Daytona Beach. Beautiful property on the beach. There's only 20 weeks available. So in their mind, you guys, they would rather get something than nothing. So look at this. You could go on here and you could book. Now this is $93 average per night. So let's say I want to go in there and go, well, I would be willing to pay $49 a night. I could submit that as a bid and then they're going to let me know within a couple, 2-3 days if they accept my bid, and then I can go. And I have heard, guys, about people going on incredibly inexpensive vacations because, again, these resorts would rather get something than nothing. So you can bid on there, and that's through the marketplace. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about activities. Now, sometimes you'll show people the club and they're like, gosh, dang, I already booked another trip. I already have something booked. So I don't know if, I'm going to, save on doing anything. Well, here's the deal. You can still book your excursions and your activities and the things you might do on vacation through this. So I'm just with our theme here of Cancun today. I'm going to do Cancun activities. Again, do your start date whenever you want. I'm going to do short notice again because I just want you to see how much availability there is. Even when you do short notice, do random dates and I'm going to search it. Now, if there's any things we could save money on, while we're on vacation in Cancun in the next couple weeks, it's going to show us the savings on here. And here we go. So look at this, you guys. This is I also think mind blowing. Chichen Itza, Cenote, and Valladolid tour. This is a 12-hour excursion for $44. $44. I mean, in Minneapolis, that's, 2 drinks, 2 cocktails. You could do this whole excursion for. How about ATV jungle adventures for $54? Adults only hip hop. I might be a little bit beyond that. 20 years ago, I would have done that. Adults only hip hop. So some of you, that's going to be a good fit, right? You can go on that now. And some of you may be my age and it's still a good fit and that's okay too. All right. How about this? ATV zipline, cenote lunch, and horseback riding with tequila tasting. I don't know. Horseback riding and tequila tasting at the same time. That could get wild. $75 for that excursion. How about this, guys? I was looking at this the other day. Here's an all-inclusive Isla Mujeres catamaran for $57. I hope they have this one I saw the other day. Oh yeah, it's here. Look at this, you guys. How about your own? Some of you guys like to travel in style. You like the bougie travel, right? How about a private premium 46-foot yacht with your own crew for $263? What? You guys, this goes on and on and on and on. Here's rent a private 46 yacht. I mean, $229. Okay, it's crazy town. And here's what we're talking about. Inventory options. 3,142 activity found. So, and you can look here again, if you want to specify, because there's so many things on here, you could just do water tours. You could just do extreme sports. Maybe you want to look at half day tours. You can specify by category. You can go price low to high to low, all the things. This is under your activities. Now, remember guys, this was all under the one first thing that I clicked on. If you can remember back that far, I'm going to click on Club Viago because that's going to take me back to the main page. So whenever you're anywhere and you're like, I don't know how to get back, and especially if you're looking at a lot of stuff and you don't want to be doing the back arrow, just click the Club Viago. So everything I just showed you guys was all under here, underneath the online booking engine. Everything we just showed, everything we talked about was just under here. Okay, let's go into escapes. I want to show you an example of escape. Now, these are going to be the curated vacations, right? So these are going to include things. Some of these properties, you guys, are going to, have where maybe you could book, a couple people. Some of them are going to be like 6 or more. Why? Because on some of them, like this one that I'm going to show you, includes like your own personal assistant, right? And for one person to go on a trip, they can't have a personal assistant there for the whole time, taking excursions back and forth and all the things for one person, right? So to make it financially feasible for the company, some of these might have 6 or more, but here's what's neat. Let's say in your group, you have 4 people that want to go on this vacation, but maybe there's someone else that also wants to go on that trip. And if they submit the same dates that you want to go on that, and there's a total of 6, you can still book that vacation. So I want to show you guys this trip because I want to do it. If you were on our presentation, Cecily jumped on and literally just got back from this trip, this escape she went on with her team. And so I want to show you the details of what she was talking about because I'm going to do this one. I don't know why I wouldn't. This is, so you got to see this. It's at the Twin Sands Resort in Phuket, Thailand. Now, this is the resort. It's a beautiful property and they have the duration there, 5 to 7 days. Now, if I'm going to Phuket, I wouldn't go for 5 days. I would go for a whole week. They're having the $399 price at 5 days, which I would go a whole week. So look at this. You're not going to believe when I show you this. Extend your stay by 3 extra nights for $150. And then look at this. We will return the full amount as a resort credit to use on food, beverages, and wellness activities. What? So basically free. Basically free is what that says to me. So for an additional $150, because you're going to use that and everything else that you're doing there. So now we're talking about $550. We're talking about 7 days. You've got resort credits, $150 in resort credits, and you've got your stay in the resort. But listen to this. That this $550 you pay is not just the resort. Look at what you get in this. You're not going to believe this either. Look at this. Round trip airport transfers included. Transportation on all of your excursions. Remember when Cecily was talking about all the excursions they went on? Included. Look at this. 4 daily breakfasts, 4 meals, and 4 different restaurants. Look at these guided tours. I'm not going to even try and this. I'm just going to call it a bay, right? Look at this bay. Complimentary lunch at a world famous floating restaurant. How about you get to go to James Bond Island by longtail boat? How about going to these islands, a whole nother excursion by speedboat, go snorkeling, cave painting, white sandy beaches. How about this? You're going to go meet the elephants. You're going to go to an elephant sanctuary. And there's a girl named Melanie Levitz. I don't know if she's on right now, but every time, Melanie, I show people your video that you put on social media of being in the elephant sanctuary because it's amazing. How about meet the monkeys at Monkey Island? All these excursions, guys, included guided tours in there. How about 60-minute royal Thai massages for everybody? This is all included, guys, in the $550 that I talked about. This is all part of the trip. Unbelievable. So that is an example of an escape. Now, they've done, 80 different, around 80 different escapes like this all over the world. They have some really luxury options you can check out, but these are all going to be under the escapes feature right here on the escapes. Okay, I'm going to, just for a time constraint, and there's so much, guys, and literally, we could spend a lot of time on this because there's so much, but I just want to give you a general idea so you can go out and start using this right away. Let's talk a little bit about member deals. So that's going to be right here. We're going to click on Let's Go on Member Deals. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is they do amazing offers every single week. So what are the offers this week? How about $75 off Universal Orlando Resort tickets? Now, I personally have never been to Disney World. I don't do super great with lines. So I always kind of cut myself out on that. But there's a lot of people that love Disney. And in fact, we have a couple of people. We've got an MLB Hall of Famer and his family that just went to Disney a couple weeks ago, went on member deals, bought their resort. They also got all their theme park passes, saved $3,000 on their Disney trip. So how about this, guys? 50% off of kids Walt Disney Resort theme park passes, half off. Again, I've never been there before, but I imagine that's a good savings. So you can scroll through here. They'll have like different featured things that you can save money on. Now, what I want to show you is if you're going to go up into here, and you're going to look under travel. Remember earlier I talked about how you could package stuff. So if you want to do your hotel, your flight, and your car rental, or maybe you just want to do your hotel and flight and you want to do a package, this is where you could do that, package and save. This is where you're going to find theme parks, attractions, where you can get discounts on Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, Busch Gardens, SeaWorld. Maybe you want to go into, here's going to be more car rentals. Here's water parks, movie theater tickets, AMC, Regal. Often they'll have, 35% off movie theater tickets. So they'll have buy 2 tickets, maybe get a free popcorn with it or free pop. And some of you guys know getting popcorn and pop at a movie theater is about the same cost as going to a fine dining restaurant, right? It's crazy. You can choose by city, right? So maybe you want to specifically look at a city and their deals. Let's just do this quick. Let's say maybe we want to go to Las Vegas, right? Maybe we want to go see a show in Vegas, right? You can go on here, you can see 60% off hotels. How about you could go to a 23% off a Cirque du Soleil show. How about 50% off the Michael Jackson 1 show? That is on my bucket list. As many times as I've been there, I have got to make it to the Michael Jackson show. I would know every word to every song. I know I would love it. I know my family, my immediate family probably wouldn't want to come with me to that, but for those of you that like the Michael Jackson and are cool with me singing the whole time and dancing my night away, I would love to go there with you. How about 35% off on Blue Man Group? You guys, on and on and on. That's all going to be, I just did city and I'm looking to there. Now, how about shopping deals? You're hearing different things about people saving money on appliances. We've got a lot of brokers that own a bunch of real estate investments that have been saving literally thousands of dollars on buying their appliances for their properties with their club membership. Frigidaire, just a couple weeks ago, had 50% off their appliance. Whirlpool had 35% off last week. And again, so this is changing all the time, but you can look on here. You can save money on, physical, look at this, physical wellness. How about a car? Cheryl, who you heard from earlier about a month ago, saved over $3,500 on buying her car through her Viago membership. Who even knew that that was a thing? How about electronics? How about home and garden? Any of you guys like to garden? I am definitely in that category. Go to home and garden, save money on that. Office, workplace. People are saving a ton of money on pet food. You can buy your pet food through your club Viago membership. So all of this, guys, again, I'm talking about you're doing this on the member deals part of your site. Okay, let's go back to the beginning again. Benefits Hub right here, Benefits Hub. This is a whole nother area on the Benefits Hub. And again, if you're doing this for the very first time, know that you're going to have to go in here where it says don't have an account, sign up. You got to click on that first and actually sign up for this part of your membership. Once you've done that one time, and there's no, additional cost for that. It's part of your club membership, but you just need to sign up your first time, then save it, and you'll just be able to log in every time that you go. Okay. So what are you going to find on here on your marketplace? They're going to have featured things on here. So you can be saving up to $95 on different theme park tickets. How about 80% off semi-glutide? A lot of people have been using that for different weight management things. No service fees on MLB tickets, 50% off city passes. I mean, really great, good stuff, right? They'll have different apparel. How about 40% off of Nike? I'm just seeing that now, so I will be shopping after I get off of this Zoom for that. I know that there's a young lady named Shannon. She got the cutest, and for those of you guys that know, and if you're just new with us, you're going to start getting into, we got kind of this black, white, lime green theme with Viago. And she got these white Michael Kors shoes with lime green, like ridging on them. And her, like a zip up in the middle. They're adorable. She got them for $37 through Michael Kors on this site. I'm telling you guys, for those of you that like to shop, there's all kinds of goodies on here. So you can do the menu, see the drop-down menu, and look at this. They've got Memorial Day deals. You can look by brands. You could search local deals by where you live. We've got a young lady saving $70 a month on her cell phone bill because she switched to her cell phone through the membership. Entertainment, flowers, gifts. Lindsay Kate actually, unfortunately, lost her sweet dog of many years ago, Callie, about 3 weeks ago when I sent her flowers for it, 35% off on the flowers that I sent, booking them through the club membership. All kinds of good stuff, guys, that you can look here on the drop-down menu. So this is all going to be under that hub that I just showed you. Let me go back. We're going to go back to Club Viago in the beginning again so you guys can see where we were. Club Viago, go back. Oh my gosh, I've got all these. I love seeing all your beautiful faces, but it is preventing me from clicking on what I need to click on to get on the beginning. Okay, here we go. So that's underneath the benefits hub, guys. That was all right here. Okay. Now, also, what can you find in here? Here's your personal concierge. So maybe you need some assistance with navigating your booking engine. Maybe you want to plan a custom trip. Maybe you want to book a group cruise. You're going to find that through here. Maybe you're interested in some healthcare. Vince came on here with that amazing testimonial earlier in the presentation, saving $700. Check out the healthcare. You can do that through here. Telemedicine. Remember earlier we talked about with the telemedicine where you, and I would recommend setting that up in advance, not waiting to set it up till when you actually want to use it. But on the telemedicine, that's where you could do that private consult with a medical doctor over the phone, or people actually have prescriptions written up over the phone, picked up at a local pharmacy, no copay. And I know we've got a young lady out in Wisconsin, actually, that her name is Kelly, and she unfortunately had to use the telemedicine. She's used it a lot over the past couple of months and saved $400 that she normally would have paid in copays, that now she didn't have to pay because she used the telemedicine feature. So that is a very brief overview of your club savings. So enjoy. I mean, the best advice I can give you that is just dive in and start using it. Create your own testimonial, book something, buy something, save money on something, and then that's going to be your story. Now I want to talk a little bit about another area that's about building the business. For those of you that are building a business with us. Now, one of the very first things that you want to do is you want to make a list of people that you know. And this is not a list of people that'll necessarily do the business, or not necessarily a list of people that'll join the club. This is a list of people that you know. And the reason that I say it like that is because you don't want to prejudge anyone. Sometimes the people that you think will do the business won't, and sometimes the people that you think won't do the business will. Okay. So you don't want to prejudge anybody. You just want to make a list of everybody that you know. I recommend doing it on a piece of paper, writing down a names list on the piece of paper, go through social media, go through, your cell phone, go through, think of people you went to high school with, think about people that you used to work with, think about, one of the things I used to do is I would go through like every letter of the alphabet and think of a profession for that. Or actually, really going back, I used to do it in the yellow pages, which I don't even think exists anymore. A phone book. Some of you don't probably even know what that is, but you used to be able to look up like the professions, and you would look up A and it would say accountant. And okay, in my mind, I'd be like, who do I know that's an accountant? And then I would go to B and I'd be like, who do I know that's a beautician? Put them down on the list. Okay, C, who do I know that's in construction? Who do I know that's a chef? Who do I know that likes to cook? Okay, D, who do I know that's a dentist, right? Who do I know that's a doctor, right? I'd try and think of someone for every letter of the alphabet. You're just writing down. We're not thinking about whether they're going to like it or not, whether they're going to do it or not. We're just writing down names on a list, right? Now, when we contact these people, what we want to do is this. We're going to do something called, and again, I'm going to preface that by saying, if you're doing something already that's really working for you, like maybe you're working with someone and you've got a method you've been using to invite people that's really been working well, keep doing what you're doing. I'm just going to share in our team what we've been doing. And we on average have been signing up 5 people a day doing this method. So basically how it works is this. We do it as I first like to personally leave a voice note. Now, if you've never left a voice note for somebody before, it's very simple to do. You do it as if you're sending them a text message. It gives you a drop-down menu of audio. You can leave a voice note. Now, if you've never done that before and maybe it would be weird for you to leave a voice note, then you could personally call someone. Regardless, if you're doing a voice note or if you're calling somebody, you want to do it when you are in a hurry. Okay, so you're going to want to call them or leave this voice note right before you okay, so what do I have going on with my schedule? I have my son's baseball game tomorrow. So I'm going to probably leave a voice note or some calls right before his game, or I'll do it right before church tomorrow morning, right? Right before I go in, I will do a voice note. I will do a call. And so what my voice note, and the reason why there is that I'm doing that, the philosophy behind it, guys, is we don't want to confuse the invitation with the presentation. Meaning, if you try and do what we did in our first, whatever it was, 30, 40 minutes earlier today in the presentation, if you try and explain all of that over the phone to somebody, it's just not going to do it justice. And people might prejudge it. See, my philosophy always is I don't care if someone signs up or not. I don't feel like it's up to me, it's up to them. But I don't want them to decide based on a 30-second phone call or a 2-minute phone call or a text message. I don't want to decide if this is for them or not because they can't make an educated decision that way. I want them to see all of the information through a presentation so that they can make an educated decision on whether or not this is for them. And the reason I do that, guys, is because I made a mistake when I was new working in travel. I contacted some of my friends and I was like, I have this great travel thing for you. And some of them were like, great, I'll take a look at it. And some of them said, I'm busy, which I found out later was they thought it was a timeshare and they prejudged it. And so in my mind, I look at it as I wrecked the opportunity for that person. So I don't want to wreck it for anybody. I just want them to see it for what it is. So when I invite people, I'm going to be very specific about this. So when I'm doing a voice note, if I was calling someone and I see my dear sweet friend Sherry, of course, her picture is showing up. So I love it. So let's say Sherry's a friend of mine and I'm calling her. And again, I'm calling her right before my son's baseball game. I'm calling when I'm busy. So I'd leave a voice note and I would say, hey, Sherry, it's Ange. I just wanted to leave you a quick voice note because I'm just about to run into my son's game. But I just wanted to give you a heads up. I've recently partnered up with someone. I have a new business partner and I can't wait for the two of you to meet. This is super important to me. And I just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm going to do a 3-way message so that you guys can meet each other and talk further. I can't wait. I hope all is well with you. Look for the text. We'll talk soon. Done. I say nothing about travel. I say nothing about opportunity. I say nothing about saving money on refrigerators. I say nothing about saving money on cruises. Nothing about it. I just have something that I'm excited to share with her and someone I want her to meet. So now I immediately after that, guys, immediately after I leave that voice note, I am now doing a 3-way text message. And my 3-way text message is with myself, with my friend, and with an expert. So your expert is someone that maybe you're working with that might be helping you do the presentations, or if you're using a group Zoom like this, maybe you have someone you can team up with or co-partner with that would help you with this, right? So you've got 3 people on this message: yourself, your new prospect, and your expert. And if I'm setting up this text message, I would say, meet my friend Sherry. Sherry is someone that I've known for many, many years. She's a really good friend of mine. She is a teacher and has a heart of gold. And Sherry, meet my business partner, Jen. Jen is someone who has been very successful as an entrepreneur, has built businesses for many years. And I've been learning a ton from her on how this business works. And I can't wait for the 2 of you to meet one another. And that's all I'm going to say. Now, the expert is going to take over the conversation. And for those of you that are new, this is what's so great, because you don't have to be put into a position where you have to explain everything. You're just making the introduction. Now, your expert on the 3-way text message is going to say, thank you so much for introducing us. I appreciate you getting me on today. I would love to talk to you further, Sherry. This is my availability. I am open on this day or this day at these times. What works best for you? And then your friend is now going to say, oh, well, I'm open at 3 o'clock on this day. And then I'm going to say, great, here's my Zoom link. And then we're going to do a Zoom. And then when we get on the Zoom together, now, do you have to do a Zoom? No, you can meet with someone individually. Maybe you want to meet someone for a cup of coffee. Maybe you want to meet somebody for over lunch. Maybe you want to go over to their house. You can do all of those things, right? You're just going to change it from, instead of scheduling a Zoom, you're scheduling a time where you would get together. Okay. So now fast forward when you're on together, if you're new, this is your primary responsibility when you're new. Whether you're meeting face to face or you're on a Zoom link, you've got to kick off the Zoom. So let's say, for example, that it's an individual Zoom and it's me and it's Sherry, let's say, is my new prospect and it's my expert. I'm the only one that knows both parties. So I need to kick off the Zoom. Otherwise, we get on there and it's awkward. Like your friend doesn't know who this random person is. Your expert doesn't know who your friend is. So you've got to kick it off. And you've got to be like, hey, Sherry, thanks so much for jumping on the Zoom today. It's so good to see you. I want to introduce you to my friend, Jen. Jen meet Sherry. Sherry meet Jen. And I'm introducing the 2 of them. Okay. So that, right, I'm in charge of that. I know all parties. Okay, then what I'm going to do is something called my 3-step setup. And this is something, guys, if there's something that you could really work on, and I suggest like perfecting and getting good at, it's the 3-step setup, because you're going to do it in every presentation. Before every presentation starts, you're going to do this 3-step setup, whether you're brand new or whether you've been with the company when it's going to be a year from now or 3 years from now or 5 years from now. This is something I'd suggest continuing using because I believe it really ups your sign-up ratio. And it's
Angie,
a mission. Yes.
before you continue, could you please hit the stop share button? That way we can see and get the full effect of your amazing training.
Yes, because then you could see every pore in my nose as well, Shar, right?
No, we're just having a hard time seeing you because we got a big screen in front of us.
I'm
Awesome. Now
totally
we can hear
kidding.
you.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm just gonna wish I would have done an exfoliating, a scrub or something this morning. I'm just kidding. Okay. So, okay. So 3-step setup. Here we go. So on your 3 steps, thank you, Shar, by saying that, by the way. Okay. So your first step is why you're doing this. And this is going to be different for every single person, right? Why did you get started? And I'm telling you guys, the more transparent and real you can be with your why, the better. Like if you're in a situation right now where finances are really an issue, or maybe you have uncertainty in your job position, or maybe, you're 90 days away if you lost your main source of income that you wouldn't be able to pay your bills, or maybe you've got some credit card debt you've got piled up, and you're needing a financial opportunity. Maybe you share that, people really appreciate transparency and authenticity. And the more you can be that way, I think the better, right? So why you got started. Maybe you got started because you just couldn't. Yesterday, guys, I had to sit in for, oh my gosh, probably close to 2 hours of rush hour traffic. And my son was with me and he's like, man, Mom, I bet you are super thankful and have gratitude that you've been an entrepreneur for so long, because he knows I couldn't do that. I don't do real good with rush hour traffic, right? So I am better at making my own schedule and not having to do that, right? So maybe that's you too. Maybe you're like, man, I'm wasting so much hours of my life sitting in rush hour traffic. I just can't do it anymore. Maybe you have a glass ceiling. Maybe no one appreciates you at your current position, right? And you're working with people that recognize you and appreciate you in our community. Maybe you're someone that just, you're a husband that you were never able to take your wife on the honeymoon of her dreams, and now you can because of this club. Or maybe you've always wanted to take your children to Disney World and you couldn't ever afford to, but now you could, right? Why did you get started in this business? So you're going to talk about that, your why. What we're not going to do is want to sell the prospect on why this is going to be great for them. See, no one likes to feel like they're being sold, right? But everybody likes to buy. So what a lot of times will happen is I'll get on a Zoom with someone and they start selling their prospect. Like, I know you're going to love this because you want to get out of your job and you need extra money and you're going to like to travel and you're sell, and no one likes how that feels. So instead, you're just going to talk about why you got started. Okay. Second step, that this is a big deal and you're all in. So people follow certainty and confidence. So if you're wishy-washy and you're like, well, I don't even really know what I'm doing with this yet. I don't even know what I'm doing. Again, if you don't even know if you're all in or you're doing this yet, why would someone want to do it with you? So verbally saying those words like, this is a big deal and I'm all in on it, is huge. Then the third step is don't care. And it doesn't at all mean that you don't care about your prospect. It's that you don't care about their decision. It's taking the pressure off of them to just look at it with an open mind. So when we're starting the Zoom, again, we all got on there. You're introducing the two people because you know them both. So you're introducing to each other. And then you're going to say, thanks so much, Sherry, for jumping on the Zoom today. Or thank you, Willie, so much for getting on, right? I really appreciate your time. Willie, from the out, and this is mine, right? So this is what I say. I'd say, Willie, from the outside looking in, it might look like things are going really well financially for me, but the reality is I have been overworked and underpaid. I have been overpromised and underdelivered and frustrated and looking for something different. And I have been praying for something. And I can honestly tell you that other than the day that I gave birth or got married, I haven't been this excited about anything in my whole life. This is a big deal and I am all in on it. And you may love it or it may not be for you. It makes no difference to me one way or another. I just wanted to share it with you because I thought you might be as excited as I was when I first saw it. Something like that, guys. Whatever is true for you, you're going to do those 3 steps. Now, after you do your 3-step setup, then what you're going to do is edify and give credibility to your expert. So if you're expert, like I was mentioning earlier, like if Jen was my expert, I would say, I'm new and I'm still learning. And some of you are like, well, I've been in the industry for a long time. You couldn't have been with this company for longer than before the last weekend of October, because that's when the company launched. So we're all new. So I would say, I'm new and I'm still learning. That's why I asked Jen to jump on the Zoom with me. That's why I asked Troy to be on the Zoom. That's why I asked Jesse to be here. That's why I asked Jeff Bulf to be on the Zoom, because I'm new and I'm still learning. That's why I asked Muzaffar to be on the Zoom with me. So they're going to help explain it, because now you're going to edify or give credibility to your expert. And the best way to do that, guys, is 2 facts and an attribute. 2 facts about them, their results in the business. Do they make residual income? Are they somebody that, maybe they're a trainer with our company. Maybe they are, maybe there's someone who has hit, the second level of residual income. Maybe there's someone that has, they've referred 6 people and they have a free membership, right? Whatever you're talking about. You want to give credibility for what they've done. Now, some of you are like, well, what if I have someone that doesn't have a lot of success? Like, they've been in for 2 weeks. I've been in for 1. We're both new. What do we do? Edify what they're about to do, what they're on track to do. So you could say, let's say you're working with someone, you've been in a week, they've been in for 2 weeks. And you're like, listen, I'm new and I'm still learning. But that's why I asked, that's why I asked Sarah to be on the Zoom with us, because Sarah is someone who anything she sets her mind to, she goes all the way with it. She's on track to make residual income her first 30 days in this business. She's incredible. She's sharp. She's motivated, and she's one of the hardest working people you could ever meet. And she could be anywhere right now, but she's on the Zoom with us, or she's at the coffee shop with us, because she's so excited about meeting you and what we're about to do right now. And so I just can't wait for you to hear from her. Jen meet Sarah, Sarah meet Jen, right? So in that example, guys, Sarah didn't even have any success maybe in our business yet, but it sounds like she did, right? Because I'm talking about what she's on track to do, what she's about to do, right? What some of her traits, some of her personality traits, her character, the kind of person she is, her work ethic, her kindness, whatever you're talking about. Maybe someone's business minded, maybe they're sharp, maybe they're a leader, maybe they're a manager, right? You can talk about all those things. So you edify your expert, and then your job is to listen and earn while you learn. And that's it. You're watching the presentation. The best way to earn money here is, I always say, like, earn while you learn. Instead of trying to figure out, and I appreciate you guys getting on today. And I think, we do this every Saturday. I would recommend to keep getting on. We have new guests every single week. But what happens is that you're going to learn the presentation by hearing it over and over and over again. You're going to learn it by doing it, seeing it. And all of a sudden, before you know, you'll be doing the presentation and you will be the expert and someone will be edifying you, but you've got to get started somewhere. So just make sure you know your website link so that when your expert is done presenting, you can give your website link to your friend, or you can text it to your friend so that they can sign up immediately because you're prepared for business. And then you're going to schedule a fast start training. I recommend the second part of what I went through today, guys. I do this fast start training either as a group or individual. I try and do it within 24 to 48 hours of every single time someone signs up, because I want them to be educated. I want them to know the value of the product that they have, and I want them to be able to start inviting people right away. And so with that, guys, we are at our time. I'm 3 minutes over. Shoot, sorry. But we're at our time, but I appreciate you guys getting on. This is literally the opportunity of a lifetime, but it's all about what you do with it. I heard a long time ago, they said, if your team did what you did today, would your business be growing or would it be staying the same? Or maybe would it be going backwards? The only person you can control is yourself. My stepdaughter just graduated law school last weekend, and we were fortunate to have Simone Biles as was our keynote speaker at the commencement. She had the commencement speech. And she talked about, that her goal was never to be the GOAT, the greatest of all time as a gymnast. Her goal was to be the best Simone Biles that she could be. And I would say the same thing for you in this business, guys. Just be the best you that you could be. Take some time and work on your business. Become a pro, become a professional, work on your 3-step setup. So many people spend so much time today scrolling through social media, watching Netflix, watching TV, so many hours every day. What if you just spent, a certain amount of time today getting better at you, getting better at your craft, becoming an expert in this business? Because listen, guys, I'm telling you, this business can change lives. This could give you an opportunity to live a life you would have never thought possible without it. So I encourage you to plug into our next event. We have regional training events happening on the weekend of, I think it's like the June 14th weekend, whatever that Saturday is. So I'm just going to look real quick so I can tell you guys. It's it's the 14th. June 14th, we have a regional training event that's virtual. Unless it's in San Antonio, Texas live. So if you're in that community or you're within traveling distance or you want to fly out, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, you can watch it virtually, and you can go to viagoevents.com to get your ticket for that event. So I appreciate you. We love each and every one of you. And I look forward to meeting each and every one of you somewhere in the world on a vacation, on an escape, saving money and creating memories with the people that we love. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your weekend. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Angie.
Thank you,
Love
guys.
you, Angie.
Thank you.
Boston.